Hi guys. Um, so I wanted this to be my story time. Um, I really wanted to start a YouTube channel um, because I wanted to tell, stories. I wanted to tell my life story, things that I've been through, um, things that I still go through. I wanted it, to somehow reach people. I wanted to, somehow be a blessing to someone, and, maybe someone be a blessing to me. Sometimes we forget that people go through the same things that we go through on a daily basis. Um, I definitely wanted to make sure that I just share my stories, things that I've been through, just to let people know that, hey, if I can get through it, you can get through it. Um, and that, you're not alone in the world. The same things that you go through, um, somebody else, goes through, have been there. Um, I just, want to continue to tell, you know, things that I've been through um, and it's a good release for me. It's good release for me to kind of get things, not really off your chest, but sometimes it's just good to talk about things. Um, Maybe to release them if they're a hindrance or um, a burden on you. Um, I named our channel The Two of Us, obviously, because it's just me and my kiddo. Um, and I've definitely chosen, you know, for it to be that way. Obviously, if I wanted to date or, have um, someone, I obviously, could be able to do that, Um, but I have chosen for it just to be him and I for now. Um, Being a single mom, obviously, is isn't something that, I chose. Um, but it is what it is. Um, you know, I had my son, at a older age, I would say. So I had him at, 29. Um, and honestly, at first, well, I wouldn't say at first, but I didn't want children. I really wanted to live my life without children. But God had another plan for me. Um, and, obviously it didn't work out between his father and I. And, I'm not here to bash anyone. I would never even speak his name or speak bad, you know, to even Landon. I would never, bash his father to him. Um, but, you know, it was very tough. So 11 Landon is 7 years old now. So, we're definitely, in a very good place, 7 years later. But at first, it was very tough. It was very tough. Being pregnant alone and just raising him, by myself. And like I said, although I was, a certain age, I was established, by 28, 29, I had a home, car, job, got a little bit of money in the bank, I was still very scary for me, I remember crying, to my mom, like I cannot do this. I don't I cannot do this. This is not what I want. This is not what I planned for myself. And, we all know that, we say God is laughing at us when we try to tell him our plan, right? He definitely had another plan for me. Um, but I was not happy. I was not happy about um, being pregnant. Um, but it is what it is. I chose to keep my kid, um, and it was tough. It was tough, you know, um, you know, uh, especially as a baby, and you know, I don't know what to do, and and I got this little kid, this baby, who is um, who is dependent on me for absolutely everything, you know, and and again, I just was not used to that, not used to that at all. I, was definitely used to living my own life, doing my own thing, right? Um, but Landon changed my life. He changed my life, and he changed my life for the better. Um, you never know, or you never could know a love like, a parent to a child, you know, um, if you haven't experienced it. And I'm thankful, and I thank God for the experience thus far, because, again, we're only 7 years in. 7 years has been a long time for us, um, but I'm going to be his mom forever, right? So definitely got a long way to go. Um, but yeah, it's been very tough. It's been very tough. I also grew up without my father. Still to this day, um, never had him in my life, and I never wanted that for my own child. So that just kind of broke my heart, to know that that was going to be the circumstances, um, and not, for me at all, but for my child, having to grow up without a father. So, um, I told myself that, as long as he had one great parent that loved and cared for him, and, took care of him, he was going to be all right. And he is all right. I tell you, um, he is really good. A very smart, very very smart, um, boy, lovable, um, but still a boy. Still, he's still a kid. And so I have to be mom and dad. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the roles that I have to play in his life. Um, but again, it took me a while to get to a point, um, to where, I was just like, Lord, why, um, did this have to happen the way that it did? Um, and, a couple of years ago, I had really got into a really dark place, and things that happened. And, we'll get to those things. Well, we'll definitely talk about some of those, in later videos, because I don't mind sharing things, especially, if it could help someone else. And that's the whole point of me sharing, um, the things that I've been through. But I definitely want to start off with being a single mom, because that's first and foremost for me. That was the whole reason of just the two of us, right? Um, but I had really gotten a really dark place in my life, and it had gotten to the point where I just was like, why am I here? There's no need for me to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to continue to go through all the things that I'm going through. It was work and personal, and being a single mom. It was just a lot going on, and I just felt like I was trying to juggle so much, um, and it became overwhelming. It became very, very overwhelming for me. Um, and I got really, really bad. I got really, really bad. And, you know, praying and things like that, asking God to give me a reason to stay here, give me a reason for still wanting to live. And, you know, I just went into my son's room, just went to his room and he was just sleeping. He just looked like a little angel, You know how they look when they sleep, very peaceful. um, but the Lord told me, there's your reason, if nothing else, you have a son that at the end of the day, you're all he has. And he's depending on you. And the love that he has for you will never fade, will never fade. The bond that you have with him will never fade. Um, and he needs you. He needs you. Um, so from that day forward, I had to get myself together and say, you know what? If I'm not going to do it for myself today, I have to do it for my son. Um, I have to do this for my child. I have to be here for him. Um, so in that day, in that moment, I realized, why God gave me my son. And it didn't have anything else to do but he was sent here to save my life. He was sent here to save my life. Because if I had of went through the same things that I went through and I didn't have him, I don't even want to say. But I thank God. I thank God um, for him, you know. And I truly believe that Landon was sent here um, to save my life. He was sent here to save my life. And um, like I said, after that day, after that moment, you know, it changed. It changed me. I never looked back, you know, and I never looked back at those thoughts again. I never felt like giving up again, you know. Um, so I say this to say, I say all of that to say this, that, you know, never question God. Never question why this, Lord, why that, Lord. There is a reason why he do all the things that he does for us. Um, and even though we're going to go through storms, and I tell you, it could really look bad sometimes, um, there's definitely a reason why we go through the things that we go through. And we're definitely going to come out on the other end better than we were when we went in. And he will answer your questions. He will, on his time, he will tell you and explain to you, and you will soon understand why this happened the way that it happened, why you had to go through this. Well, you had to go through this to get here. And I'm thankful. And I'm thankful, um, thankful for my kiddo. He has definitely made me a better me. Um, and he is definitely my biggest blessing ever. And that ever, my biggest blessing ever. Um, so, hopefully, um, you know, I could have touched someone tonight. Um, I know that there are millions and millions and millions of single moms, you know, or single dads, you know, or single grandparents. Like, you know, it's not just women and, you know, things like that. I definitely know that there are single dads and, you know, grandmothers and aunties and, you know, all of those things. And I get it. And tonight I take my hat off to you and just tell you I get it. Um, you know, definitely hang in there. You're doing the right things. Um, you know, and God got your back. God got your back always and forever. So, family, I love you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next story time. Peace.